Hello, 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 my friends. Kaitlyn here, and what do you absolutely need to know when starting high school? Oh goodness, it's that time of year again. Yes, it is. It is back to school time. Honestly, growing up, back to school time was maybe my favorite time of year. I have such fond memories of stocking up on new school supplies and looking at all the cool new fall fashion and just the general excitement of planning my routes between classes. Now, while I was in high school during the mid-2000s, and in many ways, things have changed dramatically, also in other ways, there's a whole lot that's exactly the same. High school can still be big and scary and confusing, and there are still cliques and bullies and overwhelming crushes. Basically, teenage life is still teenage life. So I wanted to talk about some of the things that I didn't expect or know about when going to high school to help you prepare. Number one, it is not as scary as you think. So I was paralyzed with fear when I went to the back to school night for high school, and I just remember sitting in the cafeteria having a panic attack and my mom being so frustrated with me, being like, "This isn't as serious as you're making it," which honestly was not helpful at the time, but I know now it was not as scary as I was making it out to be. Yes, it was this big new place with lots of people, and I was worried about being judged, about being late for my classes, about getting lost, about not being able to make new friends, just the list goes on. Key here is that I totally survived, and so can you. Number two, upperclassmen can be your friends. You know, there's this whole stereotype that seniors are mean, and that's just not true. I mean, anyone can be mean, obviously, but you may find that upperclassmen can actually be really great friends and resources. Number three, friendships change. You may have had a super tight friend group in middle school, or you may have been a bit more of a lone wolf and not really fit in anywhere. Either way, you'll find high school can change your friend group, and it may change multiple times throughout high school. My biggest advice here is just be nice to people. Make connections with people in your classes and your clubs, because you never know who might turn out to be a great friend. Speaking of friends, we've got number four, teachers can be your friends. Now, I'm not talking like teachers are going to invite you to sleepovers on Friday night, because if they do, you need to report that to your administration, because that's not cool. But what I really mean is that teachers aren't the enemy. Actually listen to them when they share stuff about their interests and hobbies, because you may find something that you have in common. And they're the people that are going to recommend you for special trips and scholarships and just all the stuff that you wouldn't know about unless you get connected. Number five, joining a club makes life much more fun. Probably every video talking about high school will tell you to join a club, but that's because it's true. I was in show choir, art, student government, and a quiz bowl team, and I had different friend groups in all of them, and I guess it just made me feel more connected and well-rounded. It's also another opportunity to connect with people. Basically, high school is just a big training ground for learning how to connect with people, which you have to do for the rest of your life. So I would recommend getting good at it now, rather than waiting until you're an adult and really terrible at it. Number six, you will embarrass yourself. Embarrassing moments are going to happen. There's just no getting around that. It's part of being a teenager with a growing body and brain that don't quite work well together all the time yet. I can't even begin to tell you the number of times that I fell up the stairs in front of my crush, or a gust of wind came and blew my skirt up in front of all my friends, or someone made me laugh at lunch and I snorted yogurt through my nose. But guess what? As mortifying as they were in the moment, no one remembers them now. And they didn't stop me from having a fun and fulfilling time in high school. Number seven, don't try to reinvent yourself. You know, every year when starting back at school, I would consider reinventing myself. Like drastically changing the way I dressed or acted or the people I hung out with. Like I could somehow make myself more popular or desirable to my crush with a wardrobe and attitude change. It was a fun fantasy, but honestly not worthwhile at all. Just be yourself, or more accurately, figuring out who yourself is at this point. Which is hard, I know. It takes lots of trial and error. But don't try faking who you are or who you think you should be, because it's only going to cause you grief. Number eight, everybody's thinking about sex. Everybody in high school is at different development levels, and everybody's hormones are off the charts, and it's just a mess up in there. But you find when you get older, and you can have more honest conversations about this kind of stuff, that a lot less people are having sex than are talking about sex. so don't stress about being a virgin, whether you're a guy or a girl, and don't let anyone pressure you into something that you are not comfortable with. And surprisingly, the internet is your friend if you're feeling naive. There are a lot of sex-positive YouTubers out there if you're feeling pressured or wondering what something means that can help you figure it out in a safe and not so embarrassing way. Number 9. What? Number 9, your grades are important, but not at the expense of living. Basically, care about your grades because they do matter now. They help you either get into college or help you figure out what you want to do after high school, but don't care so much that that is all you do in high school. That is what I did, and I was top of my class, but I was stressed out all the time, and I kept thinking that I would be able to have fun when I was in college or when I was a young professional, and it was always just this perpetual putting it off until this later date that I was then allowed to have fun. But you know what? That kind of thinking just keeps going, and there's really not that much time now as an adult. And so sometimes I feel like I missed out on friendships and experiences that I could have had as a teenager because I was so worried about the difference between a 95 and a 100. So learn from my mistakes. Number 10. Sometimes people are cruel for no reason. High school isn't all roses and butterflies, obviously. There are still cruel people and bullies who are just cruel to you for no real reason. They're just mean because they're unhappy or they need to poop or something. I don't know. It's a mess and illogical. Just know that sometimes people will say or do awful things to you and there's not much that you can do back, which is why I've really stressed connecting with teachers and making friends in your clubs and classes. Having a good support system is going to help you through dealing with people's cruel actions. Ooh, so there you go. 10 things you need to know about high school. For the question today, I would love to know what other questions you guys have about high school, so go ahead and tell me down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them all as they come in. Plus remember that you can check me out on these other social media sites, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know the moment there's a new video. And I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye!